I love a bargain. So whenever I go shopping, I'm always on the hunt for the best buy. So that's what we're going to look at today. Calculating the best buy by comparing two products. Most supermarkets have the same things, but sometimes it's not always easy to see which price is cheaper. So we're going to go through some examples and see if you can use your mathematical thinking to figure out the best buy. Here's our first example. We're looking at cheddar cheese, and in option 1 we have 15 slices of cheddar cheese for $2.50. In option 2 we have 30 slices for $4.50. Which one of these is a better option? So what we need to do is use our mathematical thinking to figure out which one is cheaper. You want to get the unit the same, the quantity. So in option 1 we've got 15, in option 2 we have 30. We need to get that the same. So what can we do to do this? Well, if you're like me, you can probably see that 15 is half of 30. And to get these two numbers the same, we could probably use multiplication. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 15 by 2 to get to 30. Therefore, we have 30 on both sides. Now, if we are doubling the number of pieces of cheese here, we also need to double our price. So we have $2.50, and double that, we have $5. Okay, now we can see we didn't do anything to this number, and we have 30 pieces for $4.50. Which do you think is cheaper? It's a lot easier to see now that we have the same quantity on each side. But sometimes it's not as simple as just doubling. We can see here in option 1 we have a 200 gram jar of tomato paste. In option 2 we have a 500 gram jar. We might have to multiply both of these numbers to get to a quantity or a unit that is exactly the same because, well, 200 doesn't go evenly into 500. We might have to multiply both by another number. So I've got a couple of options. I can use division, and I could probably divide down to, so they're both at 100 grams. I could divide 500 by 5 to get to 100, or I could divide 200 by 2 to get to 100, and then I would have to do the same for the price, or I could multiply up. And I'm going to multiply up, so both are 1,000 grams, or a kilogram. To multiply 500 to get to 1,000, I need to multiply that by 2. And to get from 200 to 500, I'm going to need to multiply by 5. Now, because I have multiplied the amount, our quantity, we are also going to have to multiply our price. So we have $3.40 times 2, which is $6.80. And we have $1.50 times 5, which is $7.50. We can now see which buy is better. The most important thing to remember when calculating best buys is that the quantity or the unit is the same on both sides. So if you have 30 slices or 500 grams, you got to make sure those are the same so you can accurately compare. Sometimes you might not just get 2 options, you might have 3 options. In this option we've got 6 peaches for $9.10, 3 peaches for $4.45, or 2 peaches for $2.85. And you're going to have to figure out which one is the cheapest for me to buy. What you need to do is to get that unit or the quantity the same. And the way to do this is to think about the lowest common multiple between 2, 3, and 6, which is 6. So you won't have to multiply option 1. Option 2, you'll have to multiply by 2. And option 3, you'll have to multiply by 3. Then you'll need to figure out the final price for each option. Let's do this together now.
So we have, I'm doing this one. 6 times 1 equals 6. $9.10 times 1 equals $9.10. This one we have to multiply by 2. 6, $4.45
Times 2. You can use repeated addition.
Going to give us 8.90. And option 3, we need to multiply by 3. 2.85 times 3. Again, you can use repeat addition, equals 8.55.
So, we can see it's cheapest to buy option 3. Here's our last example. In option 1, you have 300 grams of blueberries for $3.30. In option 2, we have 400 grams of blueberries for $4.25. Which one do you think is the better buy? Once you've figured it out, go and tell your mum or dad that it's cheaper to buy this amount of blueberries.